What is up, everybody? Welcome to this Train Wreck Sports podcast where we are not here to play school. We are here to break down week 13 in the college football season. We are 1 week from rivalry weekend. It's a sad day. It's a bad day. It's coming up. We're almost at the end of the college football regular season. So you got to enjoy it
But then
while
we
we
get bowl
can
games.
here.
Then we get bowl games, and bowl games are great.
Bowl games are great, but it's just it's something sad about the end of the regular season. Even though it's a joyous occasion, the Royal rivalry weekend is such a great time. But we're here. Week 13 is going to be a big. There's some implication matchups. I guarantee there's going to be a big couple upsets as we go through the weekend. But we got a couple big games to talk about. Which one? Where do you want to start? Should we start in the SEC today?
Yeah, that's like chronological, I guess, too. It's first game.
That's fair.
Not big noon. I was gonna say big noon. But it's a noon game. So
noon, ABC, Missouri taking on Oklahoma. Oklahoma last week with the biggest win, one of the biggest wins of the season, winning against Alabama in Tuscaloosa. And they're firmly in a playoff spot, but this is a tough spot coming back the next week and having to face a good Missouri team, 7-3. And we both had the same stat that I wanted to bring up, and I saw that you had it as well. Missouri has not won in Norman since 1966. They've lost 18 straight games in Norman. It's their first time since 2011. Obviously, Missouri went to the SEC first. Oklahoma, this is only their second year there. But man, that's a long time. And this this is a decent. It has rivalry stakes. This used to be a pretty. At least Missouri considers Oklahoma a rival. But that's a long time to go without. And this is a game with a lot of stakes going into it for Oklahoma and Missouri. Missouri doesn't want to. This is basically their chance to really make a statement on this year and have a tentpole win to go off of. So what are you expecting from this game?
Just looking from the way like Oklahoma's defense played last week, and they were able to go into Tuscaloosa and shut down Bama. I mean, they had two huge turnovers in that game. They had a pick six, Eli Bowen, 87 yards, and then he had not him personally, but they also forced a fumble on Ryan Williams after a punt, set up an easy touchdown for John Mateer. The offense is not looking great, and John Mateer has not looked like the same quarterback at all since obviously, and it makes sense. He had that thumb injury, and it seems like he rushed back from that, and now he's kind of been playing through it, but he clearly is not the same level of quarterback. But Oklahoma's defense is still absolutely legit. Gets tons of pressure. They had 4 sacks last week against Bama. They're ready for it. And Missouri obviously trying to make this statement and kind of play spoiler for Oklahoma because Oklahoma's chances for the SEC championship not really there with the 2 losses that they already have. But the playoff obviously like completely open for them as the number 8 team and having an at-large bid. And with the way the playoffs set up, they would most likely end up at being a team that is hosting a playoff game in Norman. So Missouri coming in, obviously no Bo Prabilla. Still all the conversations about Eli Drinkwitz. Is he going to be going to Penn State? He's one of the names that keeps on getting floated around, which we're obviously not going to get anything until the end of the season from any of these guys, whether it's him or Kalen DeBoer or which that one I don't really believe at all. But any of those guys getting sorted out. Do you see, actually, this is quickly off topic on this. You see Kiffin, the AD asking Kiffin, when you committing, to like sign his new contract with Ole Miss. And it's the coaching decision is being made after the Egg Bowl. So after next week, after Thanksgiving, we're going to know.
That sounds like he's gone.
It sounds like to me he's gone. I saw say earlier, it's like, what if this whole thing just shakes out and it's DeBoer to Penn State for whatever reason, why his ties are there, but DeBoer to Penn State and Kiffin to Bama.
To Bama? Yeah, I don't know about that.
It would make sense. I don't
see Kalen DeBoer leaving Alabama on his own unless he's getting fired.
And that's the thing. That's why it's so weird that his name keeps on getting floated out there. But we'll talk about that in a second. Let's go back to Missouri. Matt Zollers, true freshman quarterback, looked better last week against Mississippi State. He didn't have to do too much because they have the best running back in the country right now, Matt Hardy. who's leading the nation in rushing yards. He almost has 1,400 yards on the season. He had 300 yards last week against Mississippi State. On
Sheesh.
25, 3 touchdowns on 25 carries. I mean, he was all over the place. And so obviously they're going to be relying heavy on the run game as Zollers tries to get any kind of groove going in this system. Both people out for the year. It's just tough. Missouri's got some talent on on the offense, but I just don't think that with a true freshman quarterback coming in a top 10 game. It's noon, so it's not night games are obviously more difficult. So noon, it's not as bad, but just true freshman quarterback who has not looked the best going into this environment against Oklahoma team that knows they need to just win out to be able to make it into the playoff. I'm going with Oklahoma, and I was bad mouthing them last week when we talked about them, and I was talking about Venables on the hot seat. That obviously that win last week secured him at least another season. That's all you need to do. And the way you can look at it too is Oklahoma fans. Obviously, you want to beat your rivals. You want to beat Texas. They didn't do it this year, but they're the ones who right now Texas is looking up at them as Oklahoma's heading towards the playoff. So that's a major boost too. I'm going to go Oklahoma in this game.
Motivation levels there, and Mateer he hasn't been as electric, but he's been efficient, and that's what they need from him. It's no longer the Lincoln Riley Oklahoma that that's going to be in these high scoring games that when they get into these smash mouth late season matchups, you worry about them. And this is not a team that I think you would worry about them in any way because I think they have more talent than this Missouri team. They've played better than them all year. But OU is built for this. I think at home with the opportunity in front of them to make the playoff, I'm not passing up on this too. Honestly, I think Oklahoma is going to control this game and make Missouri look kind of silly. I think it could be 28-10.
It's possible. I mean, for a large part of that Bama game, they kind of controlled it too. I mean, It was just they just look. I wouldn't. I mean, if Bama hadn't got anything going, they kind of just shot themselves in the foot. Like I said, that pick six that makes that game 17-3. Bama misses a field goal. And they have the fumble. It's it's all paved the way for Oklahoma. They knew how to that's the thing. You said Mateer's been efficient. The offense has been able to capitalize on turnovers. That was after that fumble, it's Mateer scores a nice 20-yard rushing touchdown. So they know how to capitalize in the moments that they need to right now. So
we'll see what happens. Let's go to the Big Ten out west. USC, Oregon, Autzen, finally CBS. CBS is from the standing they used to have in college football and with the games they had to where they had no offense to the Land Grant Trophy last week. This is not a shot at the Land Grant.
That was epic.
But I'm just saying to go the games that they used to have with the SEC being the tent pole to what they've had this year for the Big Ten. It's been lacking some weeks. That's all I'm saying. This is not one that's lacking.
Well, USC. I mean, with that, it's because they're still splitting.
I know why. It's just sad.
It's just splitting with Fox. So so many of the best games are just on, at noon. At noon.
And NBC too. NBC,
yeah. I mean, Oregon, Penn State, which was a massive game at the beginning of the year. Both those teams were what we thought they were going to be. Obviously, Oregon's kind of stayed that course. Penn State hasn't. But yeah, it was NBC. I mean,
do you think that if USC wins, they have a shot? They will replace Oregon's spot in the playoff ranking.
They probably should because they would have the same amount of losses and they would have the head-to-head win over Oregon. But
I think they would be ahead of Oregon in the rankings. I'm saying, do you think they'll be a playoff team though?
It's possible, yeah, because honestly, they can. Well.
Only losses to Notre Dame in the playoff and Illinois, who is a good loss.
Who was a ranked team at the time.
Ranked team at the time, and it was by 2 points. Yeah. So their 2 losses total of 12 points. They would have a win. The big win over Iowa is a good win. Win at Nebraska is a good win. Winning against dominating Michigan, yeah. So I mean, and then if they would have this win at Oregon, it's a pretty solid case for them.
It's fair. They win, and the pathway for them to win the Big Ten is there. And then obviously, if they just win the Big Ten, then they're in no matter what. So you don't even have to think hypothetically if they're because I mean, obviously Indiana right now is what they're 8-0 in the conference already. Ohio State's 7-0 in the conference. And what USC is 6-1. So they win this game, go 7-1. Ohio State still has to play. Indiana, I think is pretty much. I think they're a lock already in there because they're 8-0 in the conference. Uh, Ohio State still has to beat Michigan, and we've seen that that's not easy for them to do under Ryan Day, in his coaching career. So if they drop there, and a USC only has that loss to Illinois, and then it's USC Indiana in the Big Ten championship game, which is a very very odd Big Ten championship game, but I mean the pathway is there for that to happen, and if obviously that happens, then I think they're definitely going to get into the playoff.
I don't. I'll put my money where my mouth is here. There's no way I think this Ohio State team's losing this year to Michigan.
I honestly would have thought the same thing last year, and then what happened? So it's like
I just don't see it.
Where is it? Is it at Michigan this year, or is it at Ohio State?
No, it's in Ohio State this year. It's in Columbus. Yeah, because
no, is it?
Yeah, it was Will Howard it was Will Howard looking sad on the road last year.
Oh, I thought last year was when Michigan was going to plant the flag and what's his name got all pissy. Jack Sawyer got all pissy and ripped the flag out.
No, you are right. It's Ohio State at Michigan.
Yeah, so you can get running where your mouth is. I don't know, man.
I'm still not picking against this Ohio State team. Streaks are meant to be broken.
That's fair. I mean, well, Penn State hasn't done it. 9 straight losses, right? Or 10 straight losses, whatever it is.
Looking ahead at spreads for next week, because Ohio State only 3.5-point favorites in that game. Do you know guess what the spread of Texas A&M Texas is at the moment?
It should be like 1.5.
Who?
Because it's at Texas, right? So yeah, I'll stick to that. I'll say 1.5, but I'll say Texas A&M. They're the favorite.
Maybe my app is tweaking. It's -10.5 Texas.
What? I
want to double check that. But anyways, back to this game.
Yeah,
a high scoring affair is what we can expect. There's going to be a lot of points, I would think here.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Oregon's coming off of not like a massive win, but it's just an impressive win against Minnesota last week. I watched all of that game instead of and it was a blowout instead of Louisville and Clemson, which obviously was a very close game. But Oregon just looks like Dante Moore just looks so refined as a passer. I mean, he went 27 out of 30 for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. And it's just they're you want to talk about efficiency? They're an efficiency monster. The running backs aren't doing anything crazy. Like Whittington had 75 yards, and a touchdown. It's I can't remember
All right, the score app. Sorry to interrupt you. The score app was bugging. Shout out the score app. I love it. -4 Texas though.
Okay.
Honestly, there is a book. What book is this? There's a book you can get Texas -10. It's Texas. These lines are all over the place, and it is a week from now, so that makes sense. But there is a book that you can get if you believe in A&M. You can get them at 10-point dogs. So I'd recommend looking that up.
That's crazy. Number 3 team in the country, 10-point. I know it's a rivalry, but come on. And Texas defense is good, but
in this game, I just don't think Oregon at home. They've been clutch all year long. Yeah. I just don't see them.
Not against Indiana.
And this team, USC is not Indiana though, which is the craziest. I never thought those words would come out of my mouth about college football. But USC is not Indiana. That game still was close to the end too.
It was close.
It was a battle into the fourth quarter.
Very close game. I mean, it's going to be what's the? I know it never rains in Austin Stadium. That's the thing. What's the weather supposed to be like tomorrow? Because I feel like that's going to be honestly a big factor in this. Because if USC can USC with Mekhi Lemon and Jordan Maab has an awesome connection. He has the 3rd most yards in the country. He's got 1,100 yards. And he's got the most in the Big Ten. He's got 8 touchdowns on the year, which is 2nd in the Big Ten. If that's able to keep on going against Oregon, which has a good secondary, but you just have pure talent going out there.
It's going to be a beautiful day in Eugene, Oregon, 53 degrees and sunny.
So. Okay, so I mean, high scoring, like you're saying, I think USC is going to be able to throw the ball over the place. Honestly, I got faith in Miami that he's going to be able to do it. Not that Dante Moore is not going to be able to do it either. 9.5 is a big spread to me. I don't agree with the 9.5 In the same way, I wouldn't agree on Texas 10.5.
But see, there's a scenario where this game is 38-28, and that gets you there. Like I feel like it's going to be right around that kind of area where I wouldn't be surprised if it's 38-31 or 38-28. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but either of those sound about right. But it does feel like Oregon's going to outpace them, be the better team. And I'm going to pick 38-28 in this game.
Okay. Just for the fun of it, I'm gonna pick USC. And I'm gonna say 35-33.
What it might end up doing if USC wins is just leaving us with only Ohio State and Indiana in the playoff from the Big Ten, which would be a crazy turnabout after this year.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if they would. It depends on how things fall ahead of them, but I don't think it's a guarantee that they would want SC into that spot. It's
a big brand.
It's a big brand, but there's the teams ahead of them right now. Like, do they jump with a win over Oregon? Do they jump Vandy, Miami, Utah, BYU? Like, maybe they would.
I would think so. And like also,
they're all 2-loss teams right now, and they're not ahead of them. So it's
I think
an interesting spot to be in.
I think you win this game, and also if you can like make the playoff committee will also look at it and be like, we could have the LA Coliseum as a home site for a quarterfinal matchup.
I don't think they'd end up in a home team though. They're going to be
well, it depends.
SC. I think they'd be like maybe they could get to number 8, get to the 8 seed, but
that's true. So
it depends on a couple things because we got some other playoff implicated matchups, and there's one that we didn't prep for that I threw on here. I'll put it on here now, directly related to this. BYU only 2.5-point favorites in a night game at Nippert Stadium tomorrow night. That is a tricky spot for this BYU team who we saw them go on the road against Texas Tech a couple weeks ago and just looked out of place. Right, but they're still 9-1. They're still in this playoff combo. But under the lights, Nippert Stadium, a 7-3 Cincinnati team that is just all an electric offense themselves. Like both these teams average 34 points a game. Now BYU has a better defense than Cincinnati. BYU's defense has been pretty good, but Cincinnati matches up pretty well with this BYU team across the board, especially like the way that they can play offensively. And it's a hard place to go in and win. At Cincinnati at night is like an electric atmosphere. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. Do you have any thoughts on this game?
No, coming into this year and for a good part of the season, Cincinnati was like kind of like I wouldn't say like a super favorite in the Big 12, but they were like at least being talked about as a contender. And same thing with BYU, and BYU had that pretty disastrous game against Texas Tech, where they've kind of Texas Tech kind of separated from the pack a little bit on them. That was 7-8 or whatever that, or 8-7, whatever their rankings were at the time. So BYU definitely needs this win. What's Cincinnati's record right now? They're 7-3. 7-3. Yeah. So this is obviously nothing playing for in the Big 12, nothing playing for in the playoff opportunity for this. But it never hurts you to have a win against a top 11 team.
And they're coming off back-to-back losses. So, this could be a good – either you think they're down bad or it could be about –
that's what I'm saying. That was the thing. They were 7-1. They were cruising at one point, and it's kind of, it's the shifted off them a little bit. But you can all – it's never a bad thing to play spoiler for another team in your conference. Unless, so it'll be usually 2.5. Yeah, it's not – wouldn't be bad to take Cincinnati. It's not much.
I don't think so.
So, I'm looking at the bracket quick. I just wanted to see. So right now, say swap USC and Oregon. Say they do a full swap if USC wins that game. They would be hosting Alabama, who is number 10 currently. It's plausible. It's not that crazy. I don't know. Miami's in at 11 because I guess the assumption is that they win the conference. I don't know. It's interesting to look at. I don't know. Is USC better than Oklahoma? We'll find out tomorrow. If they beat Oregon, the case can be made.
I don't think they're a better team than Oklahoma.
We need Oklahoma to be a
Off
home
rip.
team and USC to be at Oklahoma, so it's Lincoln Riley return. That's what we
That
need.
would be lit. And the
That's
committee would love to do that. That's for
yeah,
sure.
that's what we need.
Let's
Also,
let's go ahead.
no, you're good. You're good. Go.
I was gonna say, let's pick this game. I think Cincinnati pulls this off. I think BYU gets knocked out tomorrow. I think this team. I've been ready to knock off BYU all year long. I think that they got exposed by that Texas Tech team. This is a tough environment to go into. Like Cincinnati, looking, I would be hard pressed to see Cincinnati just completely fall apart this year. I think they pull off. I think there's going to be one crazy upset tomorrow that shakes things up. I think this is the one.
Well, I mean, it's not crazy upset, but I'm picking because I picked USC. I'm going to say BYU wins, but they don't cover. I'm going to say it's like 24-23. It's going to be like just a nasty close game, like a late field goal to just pull ahead.
I like it. And then the ACC, Pitt and Georgia Tech, another close spread. Pitt saw their slim playoff hopes dashed last week. I'm getting smoked by Notre Dame. Georgia Tech's still alive in the playoff
couple
race.
Drives, they looked like they were in it, and then it just fell apart.
Fell apart on them.
That first quarter was kind of close.
Georgia Tech, though, leading the ACC at the moment. They're 6-1 in the ACC. Pitt here 5-1 in the ACC.
They win, and they're obviously because next week they play Georgia.
Yeah.
So they win this game. You're in the ACC championship.
But Pitt's still alive there for the ACC championship too, even with that loss last week. I don't see Pitt playing as bad as they did last week. The 2.5-point spread while being on the road is very interesting here. Like, what is the bookmaker seeing here? Because you would think even Oklahoma, Missouri could have been a closer spread. You would have thought maybe like 6.5 feels like it's a little bit much for that kind of defensive game and everything else. But so they see something here. They still see something in this Pitt team, and Pitt's been good this year. They've been really good this year. But outside of last week, they were competitive in pretty much all their games. They have a great offense themselves. This is a really interesting spot because not that Georgia Tech, like, they still need to win the ACC to go to the playoff and everything else. But Pitt coming off of that kind of loss with a taste in their mouth, like in a bounce back opportunity. And Georgia Tech, while not probably completely looking ahead, maybe looking a little bit ahead to a huge game in Athens on a Friday too. Like I don't know.
No, it's in Atlanta.
Is it in Atlanta? Okay.
Atlanta.
But regardless, like this is a tough spot. This is a tough spot.
It is.
For Pitt. Pitt's offense is good. Go ahead.
So the book's saying that if it's 2.5 at Georgia Tech, so they're saying that neutral site Pitt's a 1.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of wild, or 1 point for however, whatever. But it's I don't know. I don't know. I still think Georgia Tech's a good team. I think they're going to win the ACC. Obviously, they have looked like the premier team for the entire in this conference for the entire year. Outside of Miami, obviously looking good to start the year too. I think they right the ship and then they're going to go out. Don't look ahead because you win this, you got the ACC. Next week doesn't. I mean, obviously it's a rivalry, but it doesn't matter as much for that. You lose that game and you win the ACC, you're still making the playoff. So obviously, and they were so close to winning that game last year. So obviously, a lot of those guys, it's going to be in their head that we got to get this done. But I don't know. I trust Georgia Tech. I said this way back earlier in the year. How to me they kind of seem you good. You're gonna fall out of the chair.
But, good.
I said this way back in I think it was September where I said this Georgia Tech team reminds me a lot about the TCU team that made the playoff a couple years ago. And it just seems like everything kind of goes their way. It's these close one-score games, but they just seem like meticulous. They know how to get things done. And it's kind of just written on the wall for them that if they keep on doing what they need to do, they're going to be set. That TCU team went undefeated until the Big 12 championship game, and then they lost that game. So a little different from Georgia Tech here, but I don't know. I'm sticking with Georgia Tech. Pitt, I think it's just I don't know. I mean, obviously, Notre Dame is playing at another level these last 8 weeks of this, of their season that they've had. Just been incredible. And Georgia Tech's defense obviously is not to that level, but I would trust that their offense is better and can handle Pitt. It's not like Pitt's defense has been anything like super outstanding. They've had some like high scoring games that they've had to come out and win. So I would stick with Georgia Tech here. I'll say 24 to 17.
I'm going the opposite.
Oh,
I'm this line is iffy to me. I think it makes you want to take Georgia Tech if you're just casual trying to bet on this game and seeing you get the ranked team who's 9-1 at home and get this short spread. I think Pitt has a great offense that got, dominated a little bit last week by one of the best defenses in college football, and there's no shame in that. I think Notre Dame's a level ahead of them. But I think this Pitt team's really good. I think they come out motivated. I think they get a win here against Georgia Tech and really throw a wrench into this whole ACC playoff situation.
Well, that would just help lead to the idea that no ACC team, like there was that theory floated that just no ACC team was going to get into the playoff at all. And there was like, that's a possibility.
They don't, if the committee cared about James Madison and respected James Madison, it might be true. But
James Madison, big game against, I can't even remember. I don't know. They're big favorites actually. It's not that big a game, but
they're playing Washington State this week.
Yeah, they're 5-5. Yeah, Washington's 5-5.
Yes. Big game. 13.5-point favorites, the Dukes, and then next week at Coastal, who is second right behind them in the Sun Belt. They can't catch up, but
James Madison shouldn't be in the Sun Belt. Honestly, they should probably jump up. But
Seamus wants the over.
Hey,
I like it. I like it.
What the over is like
points.
60.5?
Yeah.
All right, take it. Why not?
I could see it. I think Pitt's going to come out firing.
I trust Seamus. So honestly, if he's saying take the over, take the over. He knows what he's talking about.
Take the over.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, Seamus. I'm very aware of Seamus's gambling acumen. We talk about it every day about all our picks. So if Seamus is on the over, I think it's a good idea as well. I'm with you.
So these are
other games.
These are quick before we leave. These are some of or we go to the next thing. Some of the scores that Pitt has had put up against them on their defense. They lost 31-24 to West Virginia. Lost 34-27 to Louisville. They won against Florida State 34-31. They beat NC State 53-34. They beat Stanford, but Stanford put up 20, and that's not a very good team. And then Notre Dame put up 37 on them last week. So that defense can get lit up.
It's leaky. So yeah, that's the over.
Notre Dame did have, they had a pick six in there, or they had they had some short fields at least from turnovers. I can't remember if there was pick six or not. So obviously that contributes to that, but I'm going with Georgia hands down. Want to take the over? Sure. What's the score then with the over? 16.5. I'll say 38-24. What is that? That's over. It works.
It's over.
That works. 62.
I like it.
There we go.
I was gonna say other games of note to bring up, but not really much tomorrow.
No, there's not. Did you see Alabama, Eastern Illinois? That's a big one.
Yeah, big matchup there with Eastern Illinois.
First player that from Eastern Illinois that comes to your head.
Didn't Tony Romo go there?
Tony Romo. Who else? Do you know the other quarterback?
I do. It wasn't another Cowboys backup quarterback.
No, it wasn't. Well, maybe, but they're not the guy I'm thinking of. This is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but he never actually won the game he started. Does that make sense?
Who is it?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's right. Yes, Jimmy G. What a squad they've got out there.
Jimmy Garoppolo broke all the
out here. I'm in Eastern Illinois right now. Where the hell I don't even know where they are. That's crazy.
Yeah. But no, I mean, who's Georgia plays Samford or something like that?
That's the problem is all the SEC teams don't play nobody.
Well, they're moving next year, I believe, right? Is when they're moving to 9 conference games.
Yes.
So we won't have any more of these late November random FCS opponents that they're playing that they've been getting away with for however long. So
long time. I mean, Ole Miss had the Citadel last week or something like that. Yeah. It's just
Clemson's playing Furman, so they're pulling a SEC right there too.
Eastern Illinois is down south. That's why. Still in the East. but down south of Champaign even.
Mm.
So more Kentucky than anything else, honestly.
Big game for basketball fans. Duke at North Carolina.
Big game for Big Bill.
Did you see the picture of Big Bill at his girlfriend's co-ed adult cheerleading competition?
I have no comment on that. I don't know what. I don't know what's going. There's so much going on there that I don't know what's going on.
That game actually big for Belichick. They win, they stay on pace.
They're still bowl eligible. Yeah,
they're still bowl eligible. Manny Diaz also trying to get to bowl eligibility, second year in a row at Duke.
And Duke 4-2, and with some chaos, I think is still alive in the ACC race.
Somehow
I think they're not. I don't think they're completely out, but they're not dead yet.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, Georgia Tech or Pitt picks up a loss this week, and so that helps them. And then, Virginia and SMU both have one loss, so I think I don't know the exact machinations, but Duke is still alive. They're hanging on by a thread at 5-5 with 4-2 conference record. So who knows?
That's a fun game, ACC too. That doesn't. I mean, Louisville at SMU. They're both 7-3 teams. Obviously, like beginning of the year was like a little bit more possibility for.
There's too much ACC disrespect, right?
No, I'm not trying to disrespect that.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying in the college football sphere is disrespecting the ACC too much, as if this isn't like there. No, there's not a dominant team, but there's a lot of good football being played in the ACC this year. Like it's just they don't have. You thought Miami might have been the dominant team. That didn't end up happening. Clemson and Florida State just fell off a cliff. Those teams promised Clemson didn't even really have a promising start, but Florida State had a promising start to the season, and then just I don't know what the hell happened to them. And Clemson is, I mean, they might just be cooked. So that's why people are thinking the ACC is so lesser, but they still got some good teams. And honestly, James Franklin going to Virginia Tech's going to be good. In the next couple of years.
Well, they
got near Penn State's whole recruiting class visiting tomorrow at that game.
Not the whole class, but a lot of it.
A lot of players, Mo.
A lot of players. Well, let's see what guys want to play for James Franklin or they wanted to play for Penn State. You're going to find out that pretty easily.
Yeah, no. And honestly, and if you're going to get a trip to Virginia Tech to see Miami at Virginia Tech late November when you weren't expecting to, just go take the trip. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh no, Jim Graham says ACC trash. Come on, Jim. I'm trying to hype up the Atlantic Coast.
There's more parity here. That's the thing. There's more parity.
Georgia Tech needs to win out and win the Natty. That's what I'm cheering for.
A Natty would be cool. Just honestly win out and then get
win out because you beat Georgia. Because then it's like, okay.
Well, and then also, what is that?
You think we're trash, and then we went 11-1 and we beat the best team in the SEC all year? Like, get out of here.
Yeah, what does that do for the playoff too? Then, if Georgia gets another loss, and they still have to play the SEC championship game, they could lose to A&M. All of a sudden, you're looking at a 9-3, or excuse me, you're looking at a 10-3 Georgia team, right? Yeah, would that be 10-3? Yeah. You're looking at a 10-3 Georgia team. They shouldn't be hosting a playoff game at 10-3. They couldn't even win their conference either.
So that's the SEC title game is set, right? Because A&M.
Because
what happened?
Oklahoma. What? Oh no, yeah, because
Oklahoma in because they beat these two teams that can catch up.
Bama's only got one conference loss.
Yeah.
And if A&M loses, then I think they can still get in. Or if Georgia loses, I
think Georgia's already in. Georgia's already in because they have head-to-head over. Well, I guess they lost to Bama, so never mind. I'm tripping.
Well, but Georgia can't lose another conference game because they don't.
They can't. Yeah, exactly.
So I guess,
but if Ole Miss and Bama and A&M all end up 7-1 with, say Texas beats A&M next week,
which is plausible.
So Georgia would probably. I don't know. Well, I guess Georgia would be out, and I don't know how they do a 4-way tie. That's basically what I'm getting at. Because there's a potential.
Georgia's in no matter what because they're 8-0 in the conference.
No, Georgia's 7-1 in conference. They lost to Bama.
Oh, that's because they lost to Bama. That's right.
So if A&M loses next week, and Ole Miss beats Mississippi State, and Bama beats Auburn, there are 4 teams at the top of the conference at 7-1, and only 2 of those teams played head-to-head this year. And that's Georgia beating Ole Miss and Bama beating Georgia.
They would look at at least like obviously you look at like common opponents, and it would be Georgia beat Texas and Texas A&M didn't, so that would help Georgia. But
But
that's only
they have to have an
one
official
factor.
tiebreaker for this, right?
It's probably like strength of like a conference schedule. It's like common opponents in the conference that they beat or whatever. While you're looking this up, I just want to say for Bills fans, even though bad loss
Oh,
yesterday,
geez.
Nevada at Wyoming tomorrow is Josh Allen's jersey retirement ceremony, or his name, whatever they're doing.
Oh, that's true. And he's going to be there.
He's going to be in person. Yeah, that was the big thing because obviously they don't have
Yeah.
any. Yeah. So for Bills fans, that game's at 2:00. Maybe check it out. You can see Josh. I know he didn't play good yesterday, but still.
I don't know if they want to see him right now. Yeah.
Listen, he's still the best quarterback we've ever had in the franchise history. Fucking respect him. What?
Oh, man. Am I lagging a little bit? Am I back?
Yeah, you're good.
Was I lagging a little bit there? I think I might have been, but okay.
Well,
I'm trying to find this 4-way tiebreaker, and it's really not.
Because they're not
Just
living in that world. They don't want to live in that world where there's a 4-way tiebreaker.
All right, cumulative in an event of a 4-way tie in the SEC, and this is okay. This has enough juice. I'll trust this. Cumulative conference winning percentage of all conference opponents among the tied teams.
Okay.
So strength. That's crazy.
So it's like you have to add up the records of the people that they beat.
Yes, and then their cumulative winning percentage among that. But that's insane to me.
That's a weird.
What the?
I guess it was.
If the teams are still tied after that, a capped relative total scoring margin against conference opponents, followed by a random draw. Why don't we let's just do Friday Night Lights, bro? Just put Lane Kiffin, Kalen DeBoer, Kirby Smart, and Mike Elko in a gas station in Texas, and give them 2 of them double-sided coins and see what happens.
Sure.
And put it on TV. You know how much? You know the ratings for that?
That'd be pretty good.
Go crazy. There'd be a million people watching that coin toss. 100%. You get interviews with all of them beforehand. Like you got who would we have there? Reese Davis. Don't Davis right on site.
If you're filming it, don't even do it at a gas station. No, it's gonna be Paul Feinbaum. It's not.
Oh yeah, it would be Paul Feinbaum.
Don't even do it. Do it at Mercedes Benz. Do it at the 50-yard line.
sell out the stadium. Why not?
Do it like a day before the SEC championship is supposed to take place. So all the teams have to prepare. They don't know who's going to be in it until the day of or who you're playing. That would be the fun way to do it.
So who's had the tougher schedule this year? I wonder if they know that. They have to have some idea.
Bama, maybe?
That's such a ridiculous thing because how can you control that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I'd rather have the coin toss. Let them play poker or something.
Let them play poker?
I don't know. 4-way tie. Just play 2 more games. Just say, hey, Army, Navy, we're gonna be the main event. It's the SEC championship. Who says no? The SEC don't care.
SEC conference strength of schedule. The SEC, this is from 32 minutes ago from USA Today, which is funny that we're talking about. SEC believes college football playoff isn't using agreed upon strength of schedule metric because the SEC loves to complain.
This is a great question. What if Eastern Illinois beats Bama tomorrow? Would they still be a playoff?
I
think they're out, Rabui. I think they're out.
3 losses? There's not going to be a 3-loss playoff team.
No shot.
Unless they expanded the playoff, there's not going to be a 3-loss conference a playoff.
Even if they won the SEC, I think. Well, I guess if they won, they'd have to be in. But even if they went to the SEC title game, still.
Right now, this says South Carolina has the number 1 strength of schedule, so that doesn't work. So right now, it's Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. Texas A&M has the worst strength of schedule. So they would be the ones out.
Honestly, that's
it's just gonna be Bama Georgia again if that.
It's gonna be Bama Georgia. Yep. We're getting because I do think I think Texas is gonna beat A&M next week. I think
it's not a crazy thing at all. The 10.5.
not at all. I mean,
in that one book.
A&M has been great. Don't get me wrong, but they've played with their food a lot this year too. Like they've messed around a lot, and Texas is not gonna. That's Texas' Super Bowl. You get it's the first time you have A&M at home since 2010. Like that place is gonna be louder than it's ever been. Like that's gonna be amazing.
A&M. This is A&M's wins in the SEC against Auburn, 16-10. Who Auburn is? I don't even know what Auburn's record is now. They're like I don't even think they're bowl eligible. Against Mississippi State, who Mississippi State up until 2 weeks ago had not won an SEC game in like 3 years. Against Florida, who just fired their head coach. Arkansas, who also fired their head coach. LSU, who fired their head coach. Missouri, who may be losing their head coach. And then last week, South Carolina, which was a come behind, insane, improbable game in the second half, after being down 30-3 and somehow pulling that game off.
Yeah.
So that makes sense why A&M is the worst strength of schedule.
And that's why they're
they winning all the good SEC teams this year. And Texas, I think is solid, not amazing, but
probably attributed to them being undefeated too.
Yeah.
So
that's possible.
They play a real team on the road finally. And I'm going to say this. This is completely off topic a little bit. I think Texas, well, if you could think Oklahoma or Ohio State and Michigan is the best rivalry in the sport, but I think Texas has the greatest rogues gallery of rivals in the sport, because Oklahoma is, if it's not Michigan, Ohio State, it's Texas, Oklahoma, like a lot of people would say. A&M in Texas is getting into the top 10, having this back now, it's in the top 10 for me. Those two teams, it's Black Friday, so it's a special rivalry weekend thing. They hate each other as much as anything else. Then you got Arkansas, who's always just considered Texas their greatest rival, and even when
you have one that's not happening anymore. Texas Tech.
That's what I was going to say. And Tech, that doesn't happen anymore. But if they played again, if next year they scheduled Texas at Texas Tech, it'd be the most expensive ticket in Texas Tech football history.
Yeah.
There's still so much juice there. I'm just saying, looking around college football, I think Texas got the most juice when it comes to all the rivalries.
That's true. I mean, look at you talk about Ohio State, Michigan, and that's the one I was talking about, the game, whatever. The game is Harvard and Yale, but
not as much juice.
What do you have after Ohio State? What do they have after Michigan? Penn State. That's a very lopsided.
It is Penn State at this point.
It is, but it's that's not even a good rivalry.
No, it's not.
It's
a manufactured Fox rivalry, honestly, is what happened.
Yeah. So
no, that's not true, because game day went to Penn State, Ohio State plenty of times too.
No, they did.
It's a manufactured TV rivalry. How about that?
They were both top 10 teams often, but it was it's so lopsided in the history that they've been playing each other in the Big Ten. And then who after that? Oregon and Ohio State, they lead Oregon 10-2.
There's at that point it's Illinois, you would have to say.
Illinois. Yeah, we got Illinois,
but other than that, Ohio State really doesn't have. That's just cats going crazy. I was
gonna say Michigan. At least I guess they have Ohio State, and they have Michigan State. That's obviously big too. And they have Notre Dame, historic. They got Little Brown Jug with Minnesota, so they got
Michigan. Michigan. Michigan having Notre Dame and Ohio State's a pretty good. Honestly, Notre Dame is also the team that you could put up against Texas by saying you got USC and you got Michigan in there.
Well, and then
you throw Navy and Stanford. Yeah,
Well, those are kind of but those games are just
The best rivalry everybody should just say Army Navy. That should be everybody's go-to answer, because there's nothing. It's the most unique experience in college football is the Army Navy game.
Let's do that quick, because obviously let's pull up Army Navy to the jerseys. 250 years Army Navy of the organizations.
Yeah,
some nice looking jerseys. This sick scroll ship on the side. For Navy, that's the one. What's the USC? Who they got? USC's got UCLA, Battle of Los Angeles, crosstown rivals. They got Notre Dame, Jules Shillelagh, all that. Who's They have Stanford, right? USC Stanford is a rivalry.
Stanford, yeah.
Same thing, kind of nothing major. Penn State, they got the land grant trophy and the governor's belt with Minnesota.
I was gonna say Minnesota in there too.
Minnesota's got Michigan, like we said. They got Paul Bunyan's axe with Wisconsin. That's a good one. I'm just naming trophies right now.
You're just naming rivalries now.
Yeah, there's some. I'm trying to think. You're right about what you're saying with Texas. That it's the best. Well, Bama.
But Bama, Auburn, Bama does a lot of work. That's what I'm saying. Like Bama and Tennessee is good. Bama LSU. Yeah.
Bama, Tennessee, Bama, LSU, Bama, Ole Miss to an extent. Bama, Auburn, obviously deep. Even you could say like Bama, Georgia.
Bama, LSU. I know they've had epic matchups. Like it fits now, but like it was also like TV manufactured. This is now a rivalry game. Like it wasn't like when we were growing up. It wasn't like they were calling that a rivalry game as much until like. And I think getting the prominence of the games makes sense to like build it up to that point. But like at least I remember, and this is showing my age, I guess, is growing up like NCAA 06. There was not a rivalry game designation for LSU Alabama. I promise you. So I'm just saying.
That's fair. I want to say we did not mention. Do you know the rivalry trophy for Missouri and Oklahoma?
No, isn't it like some kind of like brick or something?
No. No, it's the Tiger Sooner peace pipe. But
it's a peace pipe.
It's the Tiger.
I thought it was like this little flat, like state looking thing. No. A peace pipe.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I swear, Missouri has a rivalry trophy that just looks like two states smashed together, and I was thinking of it, and it's like a brick background.
No, I don't think so.
Not a brick. Miami of Ohio and Ohio University is the Battle of the Bricks. In case you're wondering.
Okay. Well,
I was not thinking about that here.
Last week was Akron and Kent State for the wagon wheel. That's massive. Which I think there's like 10 rivalries that have the wagon wheel, though, to be honest. So
yeah, I think so too.
No, I mean, it's Texas and Bama. I would say are the two though. Probably have the two best rivals. Georgia's got good. Florida, Tennessee, Georgia Tech, and Auburn are four pretty good ones for Georgia too.
I was trying to think. Florida and Georgia both have good cases, honestly.
Yeah. Well, Florida with Georgia, Florida State, and Miami.
Yeah. And they also have an LSU. That they are officially an LSU rival according to the college football games.
The shoe game. So when he threw the shoe. Great. Yeah. That was great. COVID wasn't great. But
so the internet really, there's not a big database for NCAA 06 rivals.
That's right.
Wait. We might have broke through. IGN might have a list from a page from 2012. Someone does have a YouTube page of 14 different hour-long videos of rivalry games from NCAA 06. So shout out to that guy, because that's impressive. Oh, they might just have the trophies. I know that they don't have a trophy for that game. Yeah, okay. We were close, but
they don't. LSU doesn't really have a lot of trophies. They have LSU Arkansas is a battle for the boot. They have the Tiger Rag with Tulane. But I don't know if LSU has any other trophies besides that. I know that they have the two. But
all right. Well, I think we've done our work here.
We did. Nice little preview for next week with Rivalry Week. Talking about
what's the best. I just go with Army Navy. That's my advice to you.
That's good. You throw Air Force in there at all? No, or just Army Navy?
No, sorry, Air Force. If Air Force, it's kind of messed up that Air Force gets left out of this occasion at the end of the year.
They're part of the Commander in Chief trophy.
I know, but Air Force doesn't get they don't get no special week.
No, they don't. Who would they?
Who should Air Force play? Space Force.
The Citadel.
Now get a Space Force team going.
No, it's the Citadel. It would be the Citadel. They're the.
I know it would be, but I want a Space Force team.
The Space Force is like part of Air Force, so it doesn't.
That's fine.
Really
it's like little brother, big brother. Coast Guard.
There is a Coast
Guard. A Coast Guard team.
The Coast Guard football team is Division III, I think. I don't think they're.
Let's get some NIL money to the Coast Guard team and get them up to Snipe. Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spend my weekend doing now is on college football. I'm just gonna use Team Builder and create the Coast Guard and just become the greatest armed forces football team in all of history. That's gonna be my plan. I'm gonna make him an independent. Gonna beat him, win my own Commander-in-Chief trophy every year, and then schedule all bums to boost my record for a couple years.
You just play all the other military. Play the Citadel. Play VMI. Play Army, Navy, Air Force. That's 5 games right there.
I'll play Notre Dame. I'll keep the independent spirit going. That'll be a tough game to go to. UConn. Perfect.
That's 7 games right there.
Who else? We'll play Hawaii. That would be a really nice touch.
There you go.
That could be a rivalry out there. I think
it's in Maine.
BC. No, I was gonna say we're getting all the coasts. We're gonna play BC too, and then we're gonna play I don't know.
It's in Connecticut.
Charleston.
UConn makes sense.
UConn, perfect.
It makes sense. That's your rival. That's the big rivalry right there.
Yeah.
UMass.
See you later, UConn.
You gotta play UMass.
UConn, BC, the 3 armed forces schools. Notre Dame, Hawaii.
That's 8. That's 8. If you're not doing Citadel,
that's a good start. Coastal Carolina, gotta play Coastal versus Coast. That's gotta happen. All right, we got 9, and then we'll figure it out from there. Those are the conference.
And then you play some FCS opponents. You gotta get.
That's what I'm saying. Mix it in, but that's my conference. My Coast Guard conference is set.
There you go.
What we play.
All right,
I like it. All right, well, we did a lot of work here. So
Coast Guard conference.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun weekend. Next weekend, rivalry weekend, we'll be back, and a lot will be going on next weekend. A lot of high tension going there. So
yeah, blue and orange. That's their colors.
Oh, sick.
Mets.
Just wait.
Game at City Field. Game at City Field against Rutgers. There you go.
Now we're talking. We're talking. All right. Have a great weekend, folks.
Yep.
See you next week. Enjoy the football.